Hello, this is Jer, playing Oxygen Not Included, in the lab asteroid, which is very oddly shaped. Some bizarre rooms here, so the whole asteroid's become tilted. I'm adjusting to that fact. But the problem I have today is power production. So I've got a little bit of hydrogen, but my stores are very low. Up to this point, it's generally been treating me well. But as I've been increasing my power consumption, I'm just not happy with it anymore. The latest thing that I add, and this is what I did in the last episode, is I put in a deep freezer, which I didn't get cold enough because the power situation. I had to turn these guys off. I also expanded into my oil area, but again, because of the power situation, I had to disable some of these buildings. In addition to that, I'm going for the super sustainable achievement, which means I can't burn coal or natural gas, for instance. So I've limited options. 3 options I thought, one of which is solar panels, which I could put up here. A little bit worried about the asteroid. I'm on Doomsday, so I'm getting more asteroids than usual, actually. There is this guy here, a hydrogen vent, but I am going to be dependent upon this to determine when it's going to go off. Plus, there's a lot of heat. And so I thought to myself, the best thing to do right now for this space is to get access to a hot area. It happens to be one that's really close right here. And build some steam turbines above it. And put steam in a chamber underneath this. You know, look, these guys are just about to go off. And that will generate some power. So let's get started. So first thing I've done is I've got those Atmos suits here, 2 of them. And I've got this temporary water. See, actually both these things are temporary. But we're going to be putting water in here to make a water or liquid airlock. And when water is filled up here, I'll be able to explore on this side in a vacuum. Because if you want to make steam turbines very close to something extremely hot like gold volcanoes, proceed with caution. So I'm going to be digging in here. One thing I noticed, there's a little bit of chlorine. I'm going to make sure when I get to that point, I'm going to put it in now to remind myself. But I want to dig a spot here so a dupe can stand, or even possible rover, and they build diagonally. That's going to destroy this. This could make a mess of things. I want to have a perfect vacuum on this side when we're in there. Now, in the meantime, while we're waiting for that liquid to go, I'm going to upgrade my circuitry. I'm just going to take this circuit and put heavy watt wire all the way up here. I'm not going to actually connect it yet. I will make the switch once I know everything on this side is actually heavy watt wire before we get to that point. So the process has started of creating a vacuum around here. They're going to fill in this tile. While they're doing that, let's plan this out. So I want to build steam turbines, ideally on bisylite, as much as I can. But I don't want to use really hot bisylite. That'd be a mistake. Wherever I can't build this on steam turbine, I'll just bring in some insulated tiles. So I've got 8. This one's too hot. So I've got 8 tiles available to me. These 2 tiles, I'll make ceramic, insulated ceramic, and I'll get 2 steam turbines sitting right there. So that's a plan. That being the case, then I want a vacuum area that I can fill with water that's going to turn to steam. And we'll fill everything else in with obsidian tiles. I'll do that right across here. But I don't want to have to go into this area to build it. We're going to build it from this side. So I'll want to have a dupe standing right here to do that. And a dupe standing right here to do this one. We'll keep proceeding from both corners until we can get to the this, essentially have this whole thing built, but while not destroying these bisylite tiles. So in order to actually make it into here and not destroy this tile, I think we're going to have to just take this out and build some tiles around here. So I'll do that as well. That one doesn't have to be obsidian. Actually, before we forget, let's stop. That's enough. Hold on, how much liquid is there? We don't need any more. I'll just cut this. There we go. So building this out of obsidian, and obsidian is not plentiful in many different places. So what I thought I'd do is I build this bin here and just store obsidian in it. A little bit easier for the dupes to pick up what they need, bring it here, then go back and forth, increasing their commute time. First obsidian tile has gone in. As I do that, I can start to crawl this way, making sure that I don't go into the really hot area. That is going to get obsidian, going to get very hot, but as long as I have a vacuum here, we're going to be okay. Feel like digging these tiles out is like laying a set of dominoes out, because each individual step you do could be disaster. So looking at this one, I can dig this out. I've got a tile here and here, so when this is gone, I'm not going to get these extreme temperatures coming in. Over here, this one cannot be dug out, because if I did, and someone doesn't build this first, well, we have huge problems. Let's take a look here. I want to actually create a vacuum at this location, so if I destroy that, that's going to be okay. It's just going to double check my work as I go along and proceed in this really hot zone. So while I'm working on that, I'm also over here with the dupes, digging out some clay so I can produce some more ceramic. And this is another careful thing, I'm making sure I don't dig into the slime lung, because I'm not ready to deal with that in this area. I just want the clay dupes. I think this is one of those situations where I actually have to destroy either this tile or this tile. Unless I dug down here and kind of proceeded around to dig this out. But I want to get rid of this guy, but build this guy. But this is unreachable. So you know what? That's going to be fine. I'll just put a ceramic tile in here afterwards. So in this zone, we're going to be dumping liquid. I'll want insulated pipe and this liquid vent made out of steel. Also taking the temperature. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually use this or need this, but figure it's easier to build it now than when this is full of hot steam. So I may or may not put in that, but it's going to be there if desired. So I believe we are in. I've got a chamber here for storing the steam. Very hot area underneath. And let's just make sure that this hotness did not escape out into the base. It is looking good from that perspective. So once this is fully sealed, I'll be able to destroy all of this and then build the actual steam turbines right here. So get rid of the Atmos suits. And I thought I'd just stop here while this water drops out. Probably going to turn the ice way down here. Really enjoy liquid falling, so decided to show this. I like this game far too much. Create a vacuum at this location. So at this point, we don't need a vacuum here anymore, and that means we can actually dig in here and construct our steam turbines. And now I have 2 steam turbines. I've got insulated ceramic pipe. They're going to be outputting very hot liquid and sending it back in here to be heated up even more, generating power and just continuing on and on. Making a little bit change to the flow. So that actually the water is going to be stored in here. And it's going to be hot water, so I've insulated this. Not ceramic, just igneous rock. But I can control with this whether I want water to go in and or not into this zone. So essentially I've got a smart battery that's going to be saying if power is needed, yeah, I'll dump some water and start up the process. And if I don't need power, I'll just keep the water in here, saving the heat until there's a day that power is needed again. And of course, we're going to put this in a power station with a power plant or this power control station, so that this can be optimized to increase this with engine tune-up. Already have an engine tune-up here, thanks to Cleaner. Good job. So I'm loading in a new cooling line. This is just accessing the 2 steam turbines. That's coming from this cool liquid that's been delivered from the other world. And ultimately, I've got this decision point right here based on this temperature, whether it gets cold or not by going down here. So if the water needs extra cooling, it'll go down there. If not, it'll just keep revisiting this in a cycle until these things are hot enough that this will direct water to go down. You can see some logic missing here, so I'll put that in now. In preparation for turning the steam turbines on, I think it is now time to separate this circuit. So this circuit over here, I'm going to get rid of this one, this little section too. But this circuit down here is now part of the heavy watt wire system. Just make sure that I have converted every piece over. Otherwise, I'll be burning some metal. So we're going to separate this right here and connect this. So this is going to be a lower circuit, separate circuit down here just for accessing a few things like Atmos suits and pumps. But more importantly, we're going to be accessing these guys when power is produced. And I've got another transformer here. Let's just make sure that, I think the only thing this is accessing is the teleportation equipment that way. And we just need to have this put in. And that new circuit will exist. I'll make that a high priority task. So I want to give this a test. So I'm going to now load in some liquid, but I don't want a lot of liquid, just a very small amount, about half a ton. So it's going to make its way in here. I'm going to carefully monitor this. So we get about half a ton. The idea here is this smart battery, I'm going to pause it because otherwise I'll let too much in. I've got this set to be 90%. So when power goes down to 90% in this battery, it's going to send liquid in here. And that's going to turn this on. It'll keep sending liquid in until this gets 100%. So that is the idea of how this works. Actually, to be honest, okay, hold on. Where are we? Get a little bit of time. Actually thinking about this, it might even be the case to turn this off early, but we'll see. We'll give this a little test. Okay, so I'm going to test this now and cut this wire. Actually put in a little bit less than that, but I figured it's always easier to add more liquid than it is to take it out. So here we go. I'm now going to, well, it's live actually, because all that's missing is not enough power. So I have to induce a situation where I don't have enough power in my base. Well, okay, yeah, I'll take that challenge on gladly. We only have one hydrogen generator. How about the dupes use this to create a couple pieces of iron, and why not enable these machines again? To be honest, probably just those two things is enough. So I'll be back when that causes my battery to drain, and I'm sure it won't take too long. Okay, it's watching this battery go down. Okay, so this battery has hit the case where it be 90%, indicating that power is needed. The door is closing. This is letting water fall. Let's slow this down. But this is letting water in. Oh, please work. Please work. Yeah, water's landing. It's not staying as water very long, turning to steam. These guys are already full, producing power. And because they're tuned up, I get 1.28 kilowatts each. That's going to tell the battery, it's already in fact told the battery, actually stop sending liquid in. So the liquid that's in there is slowly going to drain. And when it does, these will turn back off and this cycle will go on again. So be honest, that's probably, I probably didn't even need that much liquid. I might even try to take out right now, because right now this is actually producing power that I don't need. Oh, it's draining pretty quick. So maybe just a little bit out there. But anyway, that's it. 2 steam turbines running. And here's the situation where they're turning off And that'll remain the case until they're needed again, which probably won't be very long, given the fact that the hydrogen generators aren't on. And let's just verify the fact that I don't have extreme heat. So these guys are taking on heat. So one thing I may need to do is put some liquid sitting on top of this to help the heat exchange. So I'll do that next. So just having some liquid dropped on these machines, that's going to help the heat transfer from the machine to the liquid, and then from the liquid to the liquid that's inside this radiant pipe, just to keep the whole area cool. I'll just watch this till I get to about 50 kilograms. The other thing, I'm just playing with these settings. Now have it set to 80, 90. Probably tweak that a little bit. But it is, other than that, it is basically working. We have power production from our old volcanoes. Everyone stop. Everyone stop. Circuit overloaded. I apparently forgot a wire. Let's snap that right away. And I'll replace that. Whew, I caught that very early on. So anytime you change circuits, look for that error message. It is not something to ignore. So 2 steam turbines have been added to the base. Smart battery telling them when to run. They're in a power station. Now that I have that, I want to rely primarily on this. Let's go to my other power plant up here. First of all, I'm only going to run one hydrogen generator. Got that one disabled. But I'll tell the smart battery to only operate at 75% in this situation. The steam turbines aren't running, which might not happen for a while. That does mean that I'll have a lot of hydrogen building up. Actually, I wonder if, no, that might be a bad idea. X-May on that one. No, I'm going to continue to burn hydrogen when it's there, because I don't want my base to be consumed with that. But speaking of the hydrogen, I'm going to start directing it to go to the other base, because we're having power situation over there. So now it's being teleported over to this world. And the dupe over here has to finish some construction, but that's going to be heading over here. So this dupe doesn't have to be on the manual generator. In fact, maybe I will disable this until this pipe runs, because there's really no need for a manual generator over here anymore. Thank you everyone for watching. Just want to say I officially have 300 subscribers. So thank you everyone that has subscribed and liked any of these videos. I will be back soon with another episode where I'll continue exploring the lab. Probably do more temperature management, because these steam turbines, right now, the temperature is alright. But I'll have to have other ways of cooling, because this isn't going to last forever. That's probably what I'll work on, but who knows? I'll think about it, and I'll be back with another video soon. Till then.